Listen, you can relax because you're not a dirty person. You just have a lot of crap. I had to find out just how much clutter is around. According to the BBC, surveys show that 54% of Americans feel overwhelmed by clutter, and 78% have no idea what to do with it. And I did some more digging, and the further I looked into it, I learned that the storage industry in the US is booming, with over 29 million in yearly revenue, and over 2 billion square feet being used right now. And Psychology Today says living in clutter impedes your identity with your home, which should be a retreat from the outside world and a place to feel pride. It went on to say not only that, but it causes you to eat more and leads to poor mental health. If you guys watched my birthday vlog, you know that I recently made the decision to declutter my space. I piled up all of my belongings into one huge mountain of clutter. I couldn't be a part of this clutter statistic. It's clear that we're consuming more than we can handle. And I'm assuming you're here because you have a lot of stuff and it's slowly suffocating you, overwhelming you, and overtaking your life and completely drowning you and diminishing your self-worth. But that's okay because we're here to help that. There's no shame in this game. We all have storage problems, and today we're going to talk about why we have these storage problems and little things we can do to get rid of them. But the biggest thing is we're going to get to the root that causes this, because although I love interior design, no matter how beautiful your home, if it's messy, it doesn't matter. There is so much information out there about how to reorganize and declutter your space. I'm going to break it down into 3 simple steps. Step number 1, purge. Over the past few weeks, I took over the scary and mighty task of decluttering my home. I gathered all of my belongings and put them in a huge pile to go through. Over a period of 3 weeks, I went through all of my belongings, deciding which ones to purge, which ones to donate, and which ones to keep. You want to purge all of those items that you're holding on to, all the things that you don't need anymore. Do you really need that coffee mug that's sitting in the back of your cabinet gathering dust? Do you really need those clothes all the way in the back of your closet that you haven't worn in years but you think you might lose that 20 pounds to fit into? Do you really need a TV in every room? Or that planner that your coworker Susan gave you in 2019? You don't even know their last name. What's their last name? Throw it away, donate it, give it to a friend. It's doing more damage than good to hold on to these items. We hold on to things for so many reasons. One reason is that we feel guilty for getting rid of things. I have a travel bag that was my grandmother's. My grandmother passed away 5 years ago, and I've been holding on to it for 5 years. But have I used this bag one time? No. It just sits in the closet. And to be honest, the hard truth, my memories of her are more valuable than any man-made bag. So as hard as it is, I think it's just a good thing to let it go. And it's hard. It is hard. But you have to make those choices in your life to bring more peace. Another reason that we hold on to things is that we think maybe we're gonna need it later. I don't want to get rid of that spray bottle. There's a spray bottle right across the way because, you know, what if my other one breaks, or what if I lose the other one, or I don't need 3 spray bottles, you know? So really go through your items and just really dig deep into the reason why you're holding them in the first place. Clutter doesn't happen overnight. This has taken years to happen. Clutter accumulates over time. I just finished Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin. This was a pretty good book. It had its ups and downs, but overall there were a lot of good lessons in here. One thing she talks about is our mass consumer culture in America, and she made a lot of good points. She does have one particular section where she talks about clutter and overconsumption. Here she says, "More is better turns out to be a formula for dissatisfaction. If you live for having it all, what you have is never enough." This isn't a video about minimalism, but I do want you to think before you buy something, Do I really need this? And why am I buying this? Am I buying this to fill a void? Am I buying this because I'm bored? Am I buying this because I think it's going to impress somebody? Or is this really going to give me joy? So follow along. You and I will do this together. We're going to Marie Kondo the mess out of our space. Literally. And that's exactly what I did. It took me over 3 weeks to declutter everything. For you, it may be faster, it may be longer, and that's okay. The key is to get started, even if it's a little at a time. In the end, I felt a massive weight off my shoulders. The room was done, I felt accomplished, and I had a fresh slate. I recommend designating one Sunday a month just to go through your house and do some decluttering. So maybe not one big massive event every year where you deep clutter, but just try to do a little bit at a time and make a habit of it. That way you're not so overwhelmed once everything gets out of control. Step 2, we're going to talk about organization. I'm going to insert a few products that I've used in the past that help with organization. However, this is not a video to buy. It's actually the complete opposite. You can use things that you already have to organize. For example, I know that Marie Kondo suggests using old shoe boxes placed in your dressers to organize your different garments. So for example, you might put your socks in one box, your lingerie or your underwear in another one, your bras in another one, t-shirts in one, tank tops in another. I've done it and it really does work, and it costs nothing because most people do have a shoebox or two laying around the house. Another organization tip is corralling your items. One of the most designated places for clutter is the nightstands, the credenza, the entryway table, anywhere where you can just throw your things, the coffee table. But if you have little trays on those tables and just put the items there, it makes it look so much more organized and way less cluttered. One thing I like to do with my books is color coordinate them. I also do the same thing with my closet, and it really doesn't take a lot of energy to do it. It's become quite fun for me, and it just is easy on the eyes when I'm looking for something to wear or when I'm looking for a book to read. Now, step 1 was probably the biggest part of this process, and congratulations to you. We're doing this together. Hopefully you paused this video and got started, or you plan on doing it afterwards. Either way, congrats, I'm rooting for you. But here's the thing, step 3, even though step 1 is the most important, step 3 does hold the most weight. Why? Because it's the most impactful for lasting change. Even if you clean up everything, if you don't change your mindset, your place is going to end up pretty cluttered all over again. It takes real change of the mind to do anything lasting. You can't make steps to change if you don't dig up the root of what's causing the problem in the first place. The truth is, most of us are consuming to cover up feelings of unhappiness. We think that this material thing is going to bring us joy. And the truth is, the more things you have, the less happier people tend to be. The key is to find things that really bring you joy, that really bring meaning and ease to your life. You want to be able to resist those ads that are specifically targeted to you on social media, on TV, to get you to buy things because they try to tell you that it's going to make you more confident or make you more wanted. And guess what? Consumption isn't just items. Some of us fill up our time with watching TV or keeping busy. It's all a distraction to keep us from facing the reality of our lives. You have to get to the root of why you're buying things. And that might take more than just this video, and that's okay. You can't change overnight, but it's becoming aware and being brave enough to take the steps to do so that matters. I'm not here to preach to you. I clearly need to change as well. This is something that we can do together. So remember, before you buy something, ask yourself, am I buying this out of boredom? Am I buying this to impress someone? Am I buying this because I think it'll make me happy? If you can answer no, then go ahead and treat yourself. But for every item that comes in, one item should go out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop a comment below. And make sure you put those notifications on so you don't miss next Saturday's video. Love you all. I'll talk to you next week.
Sitting in my throne, trying to get that late view. I'm plugging to the natural. Remind myself of love and life.